Good morning, students. This is your geography teacher, Miss I Chakraborty, and I hope you all are enjoying your vacation and you all are staying at your home only because of the present lockdown situation. Now, today I'm going to explain or I'm going to teach an interesting topic of geography. Before starting that topic, I would like to ask you a few questions. So students, I hope you all know about the air, right? But can you tell me from where we are getting this air and why is air important? See, as we know that air is important because it helps us to breathe, right? For all living things, air is important. Now my next question is, then from where we are getting this air? So we are getting this air from the atmosphere. So that means today our topic of discussion will be atmosphere. Now see the picture, atmosphere, the earth's, we can say atmosphere or the earth's atmosphere. Now, so what do you know about the atmosphere? See, it is a blanket of air or a layer, we can say that, a layer that surrounds the earth is known as atmosphere. Now, this atmosphere is mainly derived from two Greek words. First one is atmos, which means vapor, and second one is sphera. Sphera means sphere, sphere means region, right? So the word atmosphere meaning water vapor or the presence of water vapor or vapor, not water vapor, presence of vapor over the region. Now why you can now you I think over in your minds you may have this question, how atmosphere is or why earth is holding this atmosphere, or how? Students, because of the presence of gravity or the force of gravity, the atmosphere is held to the earth by the force of gravity. Okay, now the atmosphere is necessary for the existence of life on the earth. Why it is important or why it is necessary? Because atmosphere is mainly consist of few or major important gases. Okay, now in the slide number 2 you can see that the composition of the atmosphere. That means atmosphere is it is like colorless, odorless and tasteless, made up of these odorless, tasteless and colorless gases. It also contains water vapor, dust particles, pollen grains, volcanic ashes and smoke. The major gases which are found in the atmosphere are these are the major gases. You can see over the slide. In the slide I have added the major gases, and at the right side portion of the slide you can see that a pie diagram which is showing the percentage of the gases which are present in the atmosphere. See, the major portion is nitrogen. That means 78% out of 100, 78% is nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere. Then the second major gas is oxygen, which is mainly 21%, and carbon dioxide is 0.03%, very less. So 78 plus 21, that is 99, and remaining 1% is mainly composed of other gases such as argon, hydrogen, helium, ozone, carbon dioxide, etc. So these are the mainly composition of the atmosphere. That means with these things or gases, the atmosphere is mainly composed of. Now, related to this chapter atmosphere, I have to tell you two concepts. Already before starting the topic, I asked you the question like what is air, or what do you mean by air, from where we are getting the air. So air has some weight. It carries some weight like any other matter. Therefore, air exerts. Exerts means creates pressure on the earth's surface. So the pressure created by the air is known as the atmospheric pressure. Now, the second concept which is related to this atmospheric pressure is that atmospheric pressure always decreases with increase in altitude or height. That means as we are going upwards, or as we are going towards the mountainous region or towards the higher altitudes, we can see that atmospheric pressure will decrease because height is increasing. And for this reason, mountaineers, I think you have seen that mountaineers, they need to carry oxygen cylinder while going or while climbing mountains. Now, why they need to carry oxygen cylinders while climbing mountains? Because as we are going upwards, or as we are going towards the higher altitudes, the atmospheric pressure will decrease. So therefore, it will be difficult for them to breathe. That is why they need to carry oxygen cylinders with them. Now, air always, you have to remember this thing, that air always move from high pressure to low pressure areas. Okay. Now, horizontal means from, suppose from your right side to left side, not up and down. Horizontal movement means movement, suppose you are moving from right side to left side, or from one corner of your room to the other corner. It is known as the horizontal movement. So this horizontal movement of air is known as wind. And when air moves vertical, that means from like upward movement, that means top to bottom or bottom to top, not the right or left, up and down, this is known as the vertical movement. And when air moves like this, it is known as the air current. Okay, now we are moving towards the next slide, that is very important, students, structure of the atmosphere. Now, structure, in other words, I can say that the layers of the atmosphere. Atmosphere is mainly consists of 5 layers. So atmosphere has mainly 5 layers. Now the first, what are those 5 layers? The 5 layers are, first one is, you can see in the picture, troposphere, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, then thermosphere, and last exosphere. Now in the picture, see layers of the atmosphere. The first layer of the atmosphere is troposphere. Okay, then stratosphere, then mesosphere, then thermosphere, and the last one is the topmost layer is the exosphere. So we are moving towards the first layer, that is troposphere. Now what is troposphere? You can see that it is the lowest and the densest layer of the atmosphere, and it extends up to a height of 8 km at the poles and 18 km at the equator. From the earth's surface towards the pole till 8 km and till 18 km at the equator. Now the troposphere is derived from 2 Greek words, that is tropos, meaning mixing, and again sphere, meaning region, or sphere, already I have mentioned. Now, so why it is tropos? Now why it is known as mixing? Because all the weather phenomenon is like clouds, lightning, storms, all these things will occur or will be occurred at this layer. So That is why this another name of or another term of this layer is weather making zone. You can see I have mentioned. Now, most of the weather phenomena such as clouds and lightning occur in this layer, hence it is not the ideal zone for air travel. So all the jet crafts, all the aeroplane, they don't prefer to take this layer or while traveling because of the weather phenomenon or the weather conditions. Okay, now the next layer after troposphere, it will start, stratosphere will start. So but before stratosphere will start, there is a thin boundary between stratosphere and troposphere. The boundary is mainly separating the troposphere from stratosphere. So this boundary is known as the tropopause. I hope till this part you don't have any doubts. We are moving towards the next slide, that is stratosphere. Now after the troposphere, again I'm going back to this slide. See, we have done, I have explained this troposphere. Now it's coming stratosphere. So stratosphere, this layer lies above the troposphere and height extends up to 50 km from the earth's surface. So from the earth's surface till 50 km, that is stratosphere. Now ozone, in one important feature of this layer is the presence of ozone. Now what is ozone? Ozone is a kind of gas. It is like O3. It's a chemical, I think. আমি একটা ভিডিও বানাচ্ছি, সব শেষ করে দিলাম, না ভালো লাগে না। হয়ে গেল আবার এখন ঢুকবে তো আমি যারা বন্ধ করে কি হচ্ছে বলো কি কেনটা মার্কেটে কোথাও নেই, সব বন্ধ করে যারা বন্ধ করে না বলে এরকমই হবে।